Yeah, priorities. Our priorities are family,
Vacations.
God, vacations,
Vacations.
our kids, each other.
Vacations.
We have to prioritize our marriage too.
Vacations. Just kidding. I'm really excited.
So I'll prioritize our marriage.
I'm just
and
kidding.
He'll prioritize vacations.
No, it's you book all those vacations for us, and I'm really thankful.
So
for
I prioritize our marriage and vacations, and he prioritizes
whatever you tell me to do.
YouTube videos.
Whatever you tell me to do. I just you're
So
the boss.
prioritize our marriage.
Yes, always. I was just making a joke, and you see that she took it serious.
But yes, vacations.
So how do we start? How do we always start this?
Welcome back to our podcast.
We got new microphones. Do they sound different?
Do we look cooler?
I can hear myself in my head. We have no producer. I'm the producer. I set up all the lights and set up the microphones.
Edit the videos.
Yeah, I can hear everything. It's weird.
Ew, stop.
It's like ASMR. Okay.
Anyways, welcome back to another podcast. First off, we want to just say thank you for the support thus far, for all the views, the likes, the comments, the shares. Nothing is too little for us. All the support goes a long way. So thank you guys for your support. Yeah. And we hope to continue to put out content that is relatable or can speak to you in some way. But yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to get like, hey, we listened to your podcast. It was really informational. I was like, oh, you really listened to it?
Yeah.
That's funny. But okay.
Today we're talking about our work-life balance.
Work-life balance. But can you pull up that Instagram post? So a friend of mine, J. Chris Moore, he posted something about what makes a good teacher, or what is a teacher. It says, should you be teaching? And I think this is like a super relevant point for dancers in general. It's, are you teaching to help them grow, or are you teaching to make them feel good? And I think this is like a common thread in our dance community right now, is that there's a lot of teachers only to make themselves grow, rather than like to, I don't know. Are you teaching to help them grow, or are you teaching to make them feel good? Like teachers would rather make dancers feel good than helping them like navigate them to a professional career.
Yeah.
And
because sometimes like the growth in training is not always gonna feel good.
Yeah, definitely not.
You're gonna have growing pains.
Oh, for sure. And that is a reasonable push. Like sometimes you want to do a feel good routine, but sometimes you're trying to book a job, or you need like information to get to a job. And if you're just, I don't know, taking a class to feel good, you're just I don't know, it's not goal oriented, other than just the physical feeling of like, I took a good class.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going to invest that much time and energy into training, I would hope you would put that somewhere professionally, but I know that's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But then again, it poses this question: is what class are you taking, and why are you taking it? Is your class about growth and training, or socializing and showing off? And there are good and bad to either of those, I think. Your class should be about growth and training in general. That's why we take class. But a lot of people show up just to socialize, just to have a friend to hang out with.
Yeah. And socialization, like in a team setting, like if you're on a team, you want to be able to socialize with your friends there while also growing, because you guys have the common denominator that is you're on a team for a reason. You know what I mean? So I feel like being on a team is a mix of both. Maybe not showing off, but socialization plus growth. But you're right, going to class, it should be for yourself. It should be for you growing as a student. Yeah.
Either way, it doesn't matter if you're trying to socialize and show off, because you can do both and grow and train. But a teacher, if I'm teaching a class, you have to make that a decision. Am I taking class for growth and training, or am I just socializing and showing off? There are a lot of teachers in this generation of dancers that is just trying to show off, just trying to show off, period. And not that like that's a bad thing, but at least provide value to the student rather than just like embellishing yourself.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads into like, do you want your students to praise you, or do you want your students to get better? And that's honestly, praise. I use this thing called like the sensei, and back in the day, like, or when you were a karate master, you were given the role sensei or master or teacher. Whereas like today, people are like, feel like they're owed it because they're standing in front of a classroom. They are the teacher.
But they also let anybody teach nowadays.
Yeah, it seems like it's very saturated.
Yeah.
Anyone who's popular is now a teacher.
Yeah.
And that does, to me, that doesn't feel correct. I think you need someone who will pull latitude out of the dancer, make sure that they're growing, increasing in their social aspect, but also increasing in their dance and professional resume. This is a good one. Are you teaching what you know or what you've seen? And that's big because a lot of people currently I've seen trying to teach like popping or isolations or even house and b-boy because they've seen it, but they don't know how to execute it or do it with technique.
Or they've never trained in it or performed it on stage or...
And can you actually teach it? Like, can you actually teach it to benefit the dancers, not just yourself?
Yeah.
Let's see. Attractive body. We're not going to talk about that. Are you a good choreographer or are you just good at mimicking? Tough. Are you teaching or are you showing? Are you training people or are you trying to convince people that you're good? These are all inward thoughts, and I can agree to these points. I can see where he's getting to. Like, he wants to make sure people are doing it for the right reasons, because sometimes good choreographer doesn't mean like necessarily like a good person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I feel like this whole post could be its own podcast in itself. It doesn't really
yeah
relate to work-life balance, but it's
just
all
a
good stuff. Yeah.
It's a good topic to discuss because it's what we do.
Yeah.
And this is something we felt about our class industry in Las Vegas, is that there's some good choreographers, but a lot of them just like copy. Or not copy. They see what's good and they see what makes it popular, so they emulate that. And it can be good and bad in some instances, because when you see something good, you get inspired by it. So you I don't want to call it copying because that sounds bad, makes it sound bad, but you try to be like that. And that's part of learning too, is knowing what you like and trying to get to that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, be a better teacher. There's a lot of teachers out in this industry that are in it for themselves. And this post is mostly, I think, Chris, if you want to like let me know, it's mostly to just call out choreographers for doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, honestly. And like you said, like that's kind of our gripe with that's why we don't take class here in Vegas unless we bring, I think I said this on one of my stories, that when I posted from Devin's class, I was like, if we don't like any of the classes here in Vegas, we're going to bring classes that we want to Vegas.
Right.
And that's what we do because we have the avenue. We've been booking classes and teachers for years, but now we're very picky with who we bring, and it's not just the homies. Like, obviously we've known Devin for years, but we had just met Trevor and Julian.
Yeah,
like face to face.
Right. And it's hard to like trust someone new. For me as a dancer, like, because I've taken classes from people who were just out for themselves. Like, they just wanted it to be like, look at me, look at how good I dance. Whereas like, I feel like the teachers we brought out, like Trevor, Julian, and Devin, they really were teachers. They were trying to grow the students. They took the time, they took the patience to communicate what they wanted from the routine, the feeling, the emotion.
And they were receptive to the kids. Like, the kids were asking a bunch of questions, the little ones, and Devin was like, actually receptive to that, even though after the fact we were like, nah, just move on, they don't need a million water breaks.
Yeah. And you're a good teacher when you could teach kids.
Yeah.
If you could teach kids dance, you're a good teacher.
Yeah. And he wasn't annoyed with them or anything. He actually just said like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we'll do that. You know? Yeah, we'll do it again.
I teach 5-year-olds every week, and it's a pain and a half sometimes. Like, it really takes a toll on my body, mentally and physically. But you really learn how to teach, and you really learn how to like develop dancers. And I take pride in that. Like, we can make dancers really good from nothing. All we need is like the effort.
It's never for us anymore. Even when I teach classes, like, we obviously teach a million classes a week, but I never ever record a video of myself.
Same.
You do.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I need to more because I realize that it holds me accountable to, like, am I still able to keep up? And then when I teach, am I able to show it well enough for the students to get? Yeah.
But it's also like we don't need to because it's not about us. When we're teaching these kids day in, day out, it's not like it's a one-time thing where they need to see the way we dance. Like we do it when we teach like one-off master classes, we'll do a duet or something, or you'll do a solo. But our weekly classes that evolve, we don't need to record a video every week.
Well, yeah, and that came from a selfish place. Me saying, I want to record myself because I want to see if I can still keep up. That wasn't for dancers. That was for me to check myself as a choreographer, and that's okay too. You know, I want to make sure that I'm still trying to be like innovative and still pushing myself as a dancer too. But that's only that the real benefit of that is mostly just so I can train dancers better.
Yeah.
All right. Work-life balance.
So back to the topic we're actually talking about today.
Yeah, work-life balance. Kids are starting school.
Yeah, so we're going through, as a family, we're going through like a big shift because this past year we were very, very busy. We were both at the studio almost every day together, and like my dad would help out with the kids a lot, and the boys were going over to Lika's house quite a bit for a while. But now the boys are starting school. Jovan's going to be in junior preschool, and Daniel's in kindergarten. And they're starting like a summer camp, summer session, and they've been loving it so far. But I guess what we're here to talk about today is like the shift of like balancing your work and life because of the boys going to school. So primarily what we do is either travel or we teach at night. So what we lose there is time with the boys. One of us has to be at home all the time now because that time with the boys is precious.
Let's give perspective. So if we drop off the boys at 8 and they're going to school until 3, that means the only instance that they would see us at is from when we pick them up from school 3 until they go to sleep at 9.
Yeah.
And if we're working, both of us, at the studio from 4 until 9, that means we only see them when we pick up and drop off and go to bed. That's like less than 3 hours. And how can we be faithful parents or good parents if only they get that amount of interaction? Instead of getting the love that they deserve from us, they get bits and pieces because we are actively trying to be in the dance studio. So we made the decision to just do one of us.
Yeah, so like we're at the studio Tuesday through Saturday. And I think the only time that we can both go together is Saturday for PG.
Yeah.
Because the boys either go to the desk fees on the weekend or stay home with dad and hang out with dad.
Right.
But on top of that as well, we are going to be delegating our hours while the boys are at school for work. If you need to edit, if I need to do administrative things, if I need to organize or clean the house, whatever, it has to happen while the boys are away so that we are intentional when they are at home.
Yeah, because editing does take a lot of time, and I typically do it late at night when the boys are asleep, and then even then I'm like running on fumes by the end of the night.
Yeah, because then we got to wake up at 6:45.
Yeah. So it's a different life change, and with the boys going to school, I think it's important for us to like know where our priorities lie and make sure that we are giving time to the things that matter without sacrificing the livelihoods of our kids, but also our finances, because this does come into play too, is because only one of us will be at the studio, we technically cut our income at the studio in half. So what we've been doing this season right now is we're in heavy choreography season, and in instances where only one of us is gone, we make sure only one of us is gone for that time frame and as short as possible. So
yeah, like I think when the actual school year starts, we don't have any trips together.
Yeah, no.
Well, we were both supposed to go to St. Louis for a whole week, but then I would have missed Daniel's first day of school, so I'm gonna fly back the night before his first day of school. Real first day.
Like this is summer school, but
yeah,
still
they're in summer school, but like the first real day where he wears his polo and everything, and like it matters. I need to be here, and luckily the coach was very receptive to that. She was like, "You cannot miss the first day of school."
Yeah, and that's a personal hit I take too. Is I would love to be there. I want to be there for the first day of school, but
yeah, and you're gonna miss my birthday too.
Yeah, well, you're my manager, so you plan that.
Well, we were supposed to spend my birthday together in St. Louis.
That's true, but we can't miss Daniel's first day, and
it's Jovin's first day. It's a Wednesday.
oh, that's true. And the job opportunity is, one, it's a great client. Two,
it's a great relationship to have, and we're doing 6 routines for them, and it's a great investment long term because we love the coaches, we love the studio, the kids are great.
Yeah.
Their facility is amazing, like it's goals.
Yeah, I want that place. It's nice.
It's really nice.
But it's a sacrifice like I have to make because I know it's better for our family, and that's like a work-life balance thing. Is we don't always get to do what we want to do. We have to do what we have to do. And that includes either saying no to a job or saying yes to staying at home. Mm-hmm. And it's tough. Each decision is like, we have to really take our time to think about it and make sure that the ultimate goal is our family is first. Our family and our church becomes first in every instance. And then we balance our life off of that. Because I don't think, I think if we sacrifice our family health for a job, we've done it wrong. Yeah.
That's why, like, this same client, remember when Dad got injured?
Yeah.
This same client from, I think it was 2 years ago now.
Yeah, 2 years.
I flew home early because my dad was having his double knee surgery.
That was such a crazy time. That was the craziest
time. My dad couldn't walk for months because he slipped off of a curb, fell straight to his knees, and both of his the tendons between the knee and
his kneecap and the tendon that goes connected to it ripped off.
Both knees.
For both knees, so he couldn't walk.
That was crazy time, but I knew I needed to be here for that major surgery for Dad, and she was just like, yeah, you need to get home.
Yeah, you do.
I changed my flight. I paid for my own flight change to come home earlier. But yeah, it's just those sacrifices that you have to make sometimes. And if there was a family event or a family emergency or just something that I can't miss, I will definitely sacrifice a work job for that.
Yeah, because it's...
For the most part, our project manager always says that Troy and Marisa always say yes. We're always down for new teams, new routines, but... if something ever comes up, we're going to have to say no.
Yeah, and it's tough to say no because we are yes people in most instances. Yeah. We want to help everyone out, but
we do know that family comes first, and we can't like sacrifice that. We can't sacrifice our family.
I think it goes back to the morals of like our non-negotiables, you know, like especially with our family dynamic. We are busy people. We are working. I want to say
everyone knows we're busy, and everyone kind of uses it as an excuse for us sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, you're busy. We didn't want to bother you.
It's like,
but the difference is we prioritize what's important.
That's right. Yeah.
If you have an issue and you are hesitant to bring it to me or to Troy because you feel like we're too busy, that's a problem.
Yeah, because when it's important to us, we will make time for it. But if it's not brought to our attention, we divert our attention elsewhere.
Yeah, how would we know unless it's brought to our attention?
Right,
you know?
People are afraid to approach us with questions or issues because they're afraid that they're bothering us, which is never the case. It's we prioritize our family and we prioritize the people that care about us. So in order for us to help people, we have to know about things, and we're never too busy to help.
That's
friends
part
or
of the
family.
work-life balance. Like if I'm truly overstimulated and I am all peopled out, I'll just text you back the next morning or within the next hour or two. If I'm taking a nap and I get a vibrate on my phone and it's a text, I'll look at it mentally, but I'll go back to sleep because I'm really tired.
I told you to put your phone down at a certain time.
Yeah.
I have to tell you this actively because when you're on your phone, you're technically like working.
Yeah, even if I'm laying down, I'm always working on my spreadsheets on my phone or calendars or people submitting payments and I have to file it and, you know, just all the things. There's so much that goes into like what I do for my teams, but
it's what people don't see too. And I know like we carry a lot, and I think because we carry it, we make it look effortless, that it's not hard or difficult. And I'm not trying to like boost our ego here, but what you do is tough, and you're always working, you're always on. And I have to remind you to like, hey, shut off your brain for a couple hours. Like,
just
don't
like
answer.
me reminding you, like Tuesday through Thursday are your only days to edit from 8 to 3.
Yeah. And
I'll pick up and drop off all those days if it gets your to-do list shrunken down.
yeah, I think that dynamic is important too for families, is like the accountability of another person to say, hey, you should probably take a break today.
Yeah.
Or stop working. You can
Or
respond
do
to
it
them later.
Or
And people have to understand that too, is like, we are humans. We get tired. Like today, I'm really freaking tired because yesterday
I was more tired than today.
Yeah, but it was just a long day of everything: dance, people, work.
Hot.
Oh, it's freaking hot in Las Vegas. But we have to remind ourselves that like we have to have grace the same grace we have on people.
For ourselves too. We
have to have that for ourselves. And I remind myself, hey, you deserve to sit and not do anything for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because for me, when I'm at home, I'm either there's something I have to do. And it sucks because I can't really relax completely until I sleep.
Yeah.
Because once I'm awake, it's go.
That's why I try to tell you sometimes, like, no, just spend time with the boys a little until they sleep.
And I need that.
Your sacrifice is either doing it while they're at school or doing it after they sleep.
Yeah,
that's your sacrifice.
That's the sacrifice. But then sometimes, like today, they're at school right now, and I'm recording another video that I have to edit, and I'm super behind. So now I'm even more behind.
Well, we're only recording one today.
Yeah, we're recording one, thankfully. But it's still heavy, and I just don't think people understand. And if you're someone that is involved within our life, you have to understand that just because we carry it nicely doesn't make it any easier than it really is.
Yeah.
We think about these kids, our routines,
we were talking about PG calendar. On the way here.
Yeah, like
we had just woken up. It's all bright and early. We just dropped the boys off to school, and we're like,
okay, what's next?
Yeah, PG is this, and this is what happened yesterday, and choreo went like this, and
we need to fix this section, and we need to adjust them, and then we need to move him. Okay, where's the payments? Okay, what's next on the calendar? Who's going here and who's out of town, so we know how to reblock around them, and we have to catch so and so up. It's a constant. It's not just when we're at rehearsal or at the studio type of. We
talk about the culture. Energy. The vibes are so good this year so far within all the kids that I just love the chemistry within each group. And there's always gonna be natural cliques, but for the most part everyone is pretty cohesive, and like so and so from one clique, if you want to call it that, so and so from this one can talk to so and so from this one, and they can hang out.
Right.
It's not like, well, you can't come hang out with us because you're not in our clique.
Yeah, and that's something active too. Like there's a dance portion of this, there's a finance portion, and then there's the relation.
Like a social,
And we try to make sure there's cliques are inevitable. Like people join the team because they're friends on the team. But what we try to do is make sure everyone talks and hangs out with each other. And that's never perfect, but we do our best to like dictate those relationships so that not everyone feels included, but isn't forced to conversate.
Yeah, totally.
And that's tough too. Like it's a never-ending thing. It's constant. It's if it's not one thing, it's another. And it can sound like I'm complaining, but it's really what we love to do. And again, just because we carry it nicely doesn't make it any easier on us mentally.
So with like our giant workload and overstimulation and anxiety and all that comes vacations. So our rule as a family is to always have a vacation plan.
Yes.
So like we just went on a Disney cruise this past March. It was amazing. But if you've never been on a Disney cruise before, they have this thing called a placeholder where you put a $250 deposit down for a future cruise to get 10% off of a future cruise, Disney cruise. And you have to use it within 2 years. If you don't, then you get your $250 back, which is like crazy for Disney to like do that. But not only do we have that, but then like we're going international at the end of September. We're going where we can't say where yet because it's not finalized.
Yeah.
We have Hawaii for Troy's birthday, and then we have a family cruise in December. Once December's done, we have Florida and stuff to look forward to with PG and stuff and Dallas, but we need to have that next vacation planned before our December
It's
cruise.
like it's our goal. It's
Yeah.
like we can make it. We work so hard, and then we make it here. And if we don't have
like,
a
all right,
vacation in
2
mind,
more months until the cruise. Come on, we
and
got this.
even if it's just a Disney trip, like
Yeah.
even if it's just a weekend, okay, we get 3 days off. We're going to Disney for
pretty much for every 3-day weekend Daniel has, we're gonna go to Disney.
Yeah, and that in itself is like a mini vacation because we can work really hard, and I mean this, like we work 7 days a week. If it's not serving here at our church, or working for Joe, or editing, or PG,
Rehearsals.
or rehearsals, or Evolve, or
Yeah.
Bree choreography, if it's none of those entities, we work 7 days a week. Period. But once we get those 3 days off, we make it completely family time. Like we do our best to like strip ourselves from phone work unless it's really important, or like the kids are asleep and I can edit.
Yeah.
But we make it completely just family time, and that's why our Disney trips are so important to us, because it's undivided attention. Where as if we're at home, I'm finding myself, or you're finding yourself working or
If
cleaning.
we're at home, my laptop and my desk are right there. It's
Right.
so tempting to like sit there and do things, but it's I wouldn't get by without my to-do lists, my calendars, everything. But once we get on a routine, like this is our first full week of the boys going to school.
Yeah.
Last week it was only 3 days because of the holiday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So a day like today, when we get home, you're gonna edit until 3.
Yeah.
Or I could go pick up the boys and
We'll
you
see.
could keep working. And
Are we gonna make pho? You said that.
Oh yeah, freak. So maybe you should go pick up the boys.
Maybe I will. Okay. Anyways. Sorry.
But yeah, work-life balance. Like people ask us how we do what we do, and we're always willing to take on new projects. It's because of my calendar. It's because of we know how to schedule it accordingly.
Yeah, we also learned how to say no.
Yeah.
Like when it's too much of, if it is outside of our heart space, like our emotional capacity, like we just go, no, it's not for us right now.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's tough saying no to people, and we don't want to let anyone down. But
We actually had to turn down a job.
yeah,
Like it was like a teaching job that we've done for a couple years now, but we just had to turn it down because we have other opportunities that are more like financially fulfilling
yeah.
for our family.
And if anyone knows anything about us, we're very loyal to like people who are also nice to us or been taking care of us for years, and so we'll make those kind of relationships priority, even if it's for a lower pay. But for this particular one, it was not just lower pay; it was like time inconvenience and difficulty, like scheduling for us between trips.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to do it anyway because we're traveling internationally.
Yeah.
So that's good.
So it's
See, when God closes one door, he opens the other, and we just have to be faithful with what we have. We were faithful. Our first year as choreographers with Bree Choreography, let's start with Evolve. Our first year at Evolve, we only had 7 routines, including the 3 solos we did.
3 solos.
We helped with production.
It was mostly you, though. You mostly took care of those solos.
Yeah,
and then
petite, and then teens, and
I
then
helped
the
with the
boys.
teens and the boys, yeah.
We only had 7 routines, and this year we have like 25.
Yeah.
So it's been growing. It's our 4th year with Evolve. We're just finishing our 4th year. But even with Bree Choreography, like we were very, very faithful with the little that we had.
We did 20-something routines our first year with Bree. The next year was 30.
Yeah, it
6.
grows like by 10 each year.
And this
I
year
think
we're
we're
like
at
at 40-something.
40-something, yeah.
And then PG, we started
We grew
with...
from 3 teams from our All-Star season last year, and now we have 4, but we have 20 new kids,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Our turnover wasn't very high. I think like maybe 4 or 5 people couldn't do it this year,
Yeah.
but then we gained 20.
Yeah, so...
So we took 1 step back, but 5 steps forward.
And we were saying all this just to say, like, you have to be faithful with the very small, because PG at the time when we first started it was very small. Bree
Yeah,
choreography.
back in 2016, we were very small, like 7
Yeah.
or 8 kids.
We would run with a very lean team of 10 or 11 sometimes. And Bree choreography, we started with just 20 something teams, whoever would book us. For Evolve, we did small routines, and we were just really faithful with those.
I think it went from like 7 to like 12 the next year, 20 last year, 25 this year, something like that.
And we're saying all this just so you guys are reminded. Oh, that was loud. Maybe I should turn down. I hope that didn't come up in the audio. It probably did. Dang it. Oh, well, I got to figure out.
Right.
I got to figure out what I do here. But we got to we have to know what is our priorities. And when we invest in the very small thing and we build off of those priorities, they turn into really big things over time. And when I say priorities, like, it is monumental in your life. And these 4 alleyways have become pillars in our life. Like, the podcast I'm recording today was because of our church. I picked up a camera. They needed video. It was during COVID, so they needed something to get online weekly.
And from there, you got your job with Joe.
From there, I got my job with Joe. I purchased another camera. I got some tripods.
Started recording class videos, really nice.
Yeah, and I was very faithful with just this small thing that the church, my pastors, allowed me to be a part of, and now it's turned into this like side business, if you will. If I wanted to be honest, I could probably make a lot of money just shooting videos and recording podcasts and helping real estate agents and stuff. But maybe if I can't dance anymore or something, or my body is tired of dancing, I'm just gonna retire tomorrow.
You could still dance forever. Look at Abby Lee.
Yeah, that's true.
She was still a choreographer for.
Isn't she in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
How does she do? She just says the words?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She has an assistant.
No, that helps. It's her legs for her.
Yeah.
Poor lady. That's got to be rough. If you're a dance teacher and you can't dance, it's tough. But yeah, our priorities were shifted, even in every season. So this is a transition season for us, but we're very faithful with the small that we have, including the time with
not
the boys.
much is gonna change. It's just like we just can't both be at the studio all the time.
It sucks.
We'll take turns and do our thing and
do what we can to make sure that not only are they taken care of at Evolve, they still get our fill, because the parents and dancers still want us present.
Yeah. One of us, like, we'll still have a full-time schedule, like, not full-time because it's not 8 hours, but we'll still have a full schedule there. It's just we can't double dip. Like, we used to do, like, Tuesday nights
It'd be both
between 7:30 to 9. We would run privates in 2 rooms. I was in one room, he was in the other room.
That can't happen anymore.
Yeah.
That can't happen anymore. Yeah. So.
Yeah, priorities. Our priorities are family,
Vacations.
God, vacations. Our kids, each other.
Vacations.
We have to prioritize our marriage too.
Vacations. I'm just kidding. I'm really excited.
So I'll prioritize our marriage.
I'm just
and
kidding.
And he'll prioritize vacations.
No, you book all those vacations for us, and I'm really thankful.
So I prioritize our marriage and vacations, and he prioritizes
whatever you tell me to do.
YouTube videos.
Whatever you tell me to do. You're
so
the boss.
So prioritize our marriage.
Yes, always. I was just making a joke, and you see that? She took it serious.
But yes, vacations. We have 3 big ones to look forward to this year, and we're really excited.
Yeah.
And this is why we love our boys' school too.
This is good.
I would never, ever want my son to miss more than 20 days of school.
Yeah, never.
But our trip in September, Hawaii, our cruise, and then when we go to Disney World for PG, Daniel will be missing 19 days of school.
But it's kindergarten and it's technically
So the assistant principal was like, normally, obviously we don't condone missing that much school, but since kindergarten technically isn't required in Nevada, it's totally fine as long as we like get the work ahead of time and this and that. And I was like, absolutely. And we're big vacation people, but we're gonna have to like shift that for when he gets into first grade next year. We'll maybe take a big trip in the summer, right when school ends.
Yeah.
Maybe that's when I book our Disney cruise.
Before we do any big jobs.
Yeah.
Big work jobs. Yeah.
Maybe like right after. I know what the last day of school is now.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Maybe I need to look it up. Right after I'm done recording this, I'm going to look up
our vacations.
Our next Disney cruise.
And we're going, for your birthday, we're going to Grand California.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
We're going to Grand California.
So technically,
that's the one I'm
that's
looking
a celebration of me and Jovin's birthday and Whitney's and Penelope's.
Oh, yeah. Whitney and Penelope are coming with us, too. So it's because we can't celebrate it in St. Louis together, we're going to push it a couple days later.
Earlier.
Oh, earlier.
Yeah.
Push it back.
End of July.
That's right. And then celebrate just a little early. So at the Grand California, and I'll vlog that. So that'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. That'll be its own thing in itself.
Yeah, because they have the whole pool and the amenities, and it's connected to the park.
Yeah, I have reservations booked for each day, but it's like we can like hop in the park for like one ride, go back to the pool.
Take a nap.
Yeah, take a nap.
Grab some food,
hang
go back
out,
to the park.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited for that. Work-life balance, it's tough, but it's good when you have someone who lives on their phone and does their calendar all day long.
And I'm always looking for, like, if I book a hotel, I'll rebook it if it's cheaper. I'll rebook the flight if it's cheaper.
Like yesterday, or not yesterday, it was like the other day, you're like, I booked our Hawaii flights because it was cheap. I was like, yes.
Yeah, because I looked at it, so for 4 of us, I looked at it just last week, and it was like $800 more than it was when I booked it.
Crazy.
That's crazy to me. And Hawaiian Airlines is sometimes cheaper than Southwest. And I know people are like, Southwest Airlines, you get the 2 free bags and whatever. But I have a Hawaiian Miles credit card, which I get 2 free check bags, which is a win in itself. And we get a meal on Hawaiian Airlines. It's not, the meals aren't as good as they used to be, but they're not like, they used to be like bentos, but now it's just like a sandwich
or a wrap.
and chips. But
yeah, I liked the first flight I went with you guys to Hawaii. There
was like rice and like,
dude, it was a full bento. I was like, do we get this every time? He's like, yep. And then
after COVID, yeah,
they stopped, and I was like, this is trash. But okay, we're at like 37 minutes.
I'm good.
You said everything you need to say. Well, if you like this content and you want to see more content just like this, comment down below. Subscribe if you made it this far. It means you like our stuff. I think we have some kind of crazy statistic that 55% of you that watch our videos aren't subscribed.
Wow.
I know. Just press subscribe. It really does help a small YouTube and a small YouTube like us and busy people like us to commit to like things like this. It does matter, and I know we're helping people. So if we help you, please let us know in the comments. Give us a like if you truly like it, and subscribe so we can continue to put out content just like this one. Also, if you have any suggestions for things to talk about, maybe we missed something in an old podcast or you want to hear more about it, let us know down below.
Lettuce.
Lettuce.